All right. So this is kind of summary of what a fourth grader does, fifth grader does when they learn about decimals. First, they learn about fractions, then they learn about decimals, and they learn about percent. So this is basically explanation about relation between fraction, decimal, and percent. How you can convert from one to the other one. Okay, so it's like this. Let's talk about fraction, decimal, and percent. So it's very important to understand how to convert from fraction to decimal, and then from fraction to percent, from decimal to percent, and vice versa. You can convert from percent to decimal, decimal to fraction, and fraction and percent to fraction. All right. So let's talk about first a fraction. Let's say you have a fraction 4 over 5, and you want to convert that into decimal, right? So what you're going to do is you can divide. So 4 divided by 5, right? How many 4 is in, how many is 5? How many 5 is in 4? 4 is smaller, so there's nothing, right? You're going to borrow your first golden zero, put decimal point. As soon as you borrow the first zero, put decimal point. How many 5 is in 4? 40 now. It's 8 times, right? 8 times 5 is 40, remainder is 0. So that's the decimal. So 4/5 is same as 8 tenths. You're going to read that 8 tenths. Why? Students say 0.8, but actually they need to say 8 tenths. This is the tenths place. First digit in decimal is in tenths place. If there's another digit, that's hundredths place. Cool? So that's tenths. And then, so 4/5 is 8 tenths. Now, how would you convert a decimal to percent? You need to move the decimal, this decimal to, it's right that, it's like that. You move the decimal to right 2 digits. Then there's empty spot, that's going to be 0. And then when you move it to right, so it's going to be 80%. So 0.8 is 80%, like that. So vice versa, when you have percent, how would you convert to decimal? That's percent, right? This is a percent. How would you convert to decimal? Move the decimal left 2 digits. So put it here. It's going to be what? Like that. 80 hundredths, which is same as 8 tenths. Cool? And how would you convert from here back to fraction? So let me erase these. Converting a percent to fraction, or even converting a, let's do this, converting a fraction to percent. How would we, how are we going to be able to convert this 4/5, initially was 4/5, to percent? In problems, you have seen that always they put 100 here and they say, what is P? This is probably, if you've done percent increase, those problems, the formula is like that. Or part to whole is equal to what percentage? P is unknown over 100. Why we do that? Because we want to know 4/5 is what at 100. Why what at 100? Because percent means something out of 100. Something out of 100. Like 2% means 2 out of 100. Right? So 4/5 is what percent? So we want to make an equivalent fraction that has a denominator of 100. When it has a denominator of 100, we can tell what percent that is. So we want to know what this is. We do cross multiplication here. So it's going to be, let's say this is x, right? Instead of unknown, it's x. So do cross multiplication. That's one method. 5 times x is going to be 5x. See, this time this is equal to this time this. Is equal to 4 times 100 is 400. To solve for x, it's multiplication in here between 5 and x. So divide, opposite of multiplication is division. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. X equal to 40 divided by 5 is 8. There's 1 0, it's going to be 80. So we got this is equal to 80. Therefore, this fraction is what? 80 over 100. Which is same as, now you can tell 80 over 100 is what percent? It's 80%. So I just showed that to you how to go from fraction to percent, right? And the opposite of that, how would you go from percent to fraction, this direction? Simple, 80% means what? 80 over 100. And then you can simplify, if you want to simplify the fraction, you can simplify it. This divide by 10, and this divide by 10. That would be what? 8 over 10. Again, you can simplify. Both of these can be divided by 2. Divide by 2. That's going to be 4/5, which we already had it here, right there. So that's how you go from percent to fraction. How would you go from percent to decimal? I explained it. You move the decimal to left. This goes left. How would you go from decimal to percent? I explained how you have to move the decimal right 2 digits. Okay? That's about it.